In this video, we're going to do an unboxing of a Dell UltraSharp 30-inch LCD monitor with a resolution of 2560 by 1600. So let's get to it. Now if you hear some crunching, it's my cat having his lunch. Now you might think I have two things to unbox in this video, but actually it's just one thing in two separate boxes. Now I gave a lot of thought into buying this monitor. If you follow my channel, you already know that I have a 27-inch Samsung monitor that's 1080p. And I thought, well, do I really want a larger monitor? Again, this is a 30-inch monitor in these boxes here. And I also had to think, do I want the higher resolution? Now obviously you would say yes to both of those questions, but the factor is price. These monitors, brand new, go for over $1,000. So for that price, I definitely wouldn't spend the money on it because for my budget, it's just not worth it. So I was actually looking at 27-inch monitors, and I know one of the popular things to do is go to monoprice.com where you can get a 27-inch high-resolution monitor for somewhere around $400. So I went over to eBay to see what they had available. And you can get those same quality monitors from Korea, directly from Korea, for a little bit less, for maybe about $350. So I thought to myself, well, what if I go to the next highest resolution, which is the 30-inch 2560 by 1600 resolution. And I actually found one, which is the one I purchased here. I ended up spending a little over $500 for it. So the shipping itself was $55, and the monitor cost me $456. There's an interesting story behind this monitor. Again, I've been giving this a lot of thought. Do I really need the extra expense? So I originally bid on this monitor, and my winning, or not my winning bid, but my highest bid was $480. And somebody outbid me. But I guess they didn't pay for it, so the item was relisted. And I bid on it again, and I actually got it for about $25 less than my original bid on it. So that was a good thing. Now, if you're wondering what the model number is on this, it's 3007WFP-HC. And it is an older Dell 30-inch monitor, but it has that high resolution I'm looking for. And the main reason I'm doing this is because of this channel. I want a high-resolution monitor where I can do my video editing on. Now, being that this is an older monitor, I believe it only has one dual-link DVI port on it, but that's fine for my needs. And my graphics card that I have in my PC build, this is the highest resolution that my graphics card supports. So I'm pretty excited to get this open. Supposedly this thing is in mint condition, and this, I assume, is going to contain the base, and then the larger part is going to contain the panel. So without any further ado, let's get this thing open. Let me grab my trusty cutter here. And this was professionally packed. Now, I assume the base and the cords are in here. So let's see what we got here. First thing is the power cord and the DVI cord. Hopefully I don't end up with all these styrofoam pieces all over the place. Alright, so next up is part of the base, or actually the entire base possibly. Before I open that up, let's just see if there's anything else in the box here. And I don't think there is. So let's take a look at the base here. So here's the base here. It's very sturdy, made out of aluminum. And let's see, that's the way it's going to look with the panel on here. And as you can see, it pivots from right to left, and then this piece moves up and down. It's sort of spring-loaded. And what do we have here? We got a button on the back here, which I don't know exactly what that does, but we'll figure it out. Alright, next up is the panel, and hopefully I'll get everything in frame for you here. And there's the monitor there. 30-inch monitor is pretty big, especially for a monitor. For a TV, not so much. Alright, so a lot of bubble wrap here. So these are the 4 screws that mount the monitor down, and they are actually Allen wrench screws. So hopefully I should have something that will work with that, I hope. Alright, so peeling back all the layers of this onion here, we have the monitor finally. So let's get this last layer off. Alright, so obviously the monitor is not put together yet, and it is actually upside down, but I do want to show you the ports here. Now also, let me show you, this is where the stand will mount into the back here. So through the magic of editing, I will do that, but I'll do that in a second. I just want to show you the ports here while it's easy accessible here. You have your dual link DVI port here. You have 2 USB ports here. You have your USB connector, which you connect this to your computer, so you can actually use these USB ports or use this device as a USB hub. You also have an audio DC 12-volt connector here, and then you have your power port here. It's plastic construction. As you can see, it's silver with some black or dark gray accents to it. Again, this is upside down, and I'll show it to you a little bit better later, but the back here you have your Dell branding, and you have a lot of venting all over this device. On what will be the left side of the monitor, you have 2 more USB ports here, again using this as a USB hub. You have a multi-card reader here, SM, SD, MS, and MMC, and then you also have a compact flash reader here. So that's actually very cool. So through the magic of editing, let me put this thing together and show you the finished product. So here we go. The monitor is put together, obviously, and it's up and running, hooked up to my computer at the 2560 by 1600 resolution. Now that's the highest resolution that my graphics card puts out. Now I know nowadays the 4K TVs and monitors are just starting to trickle out. And that's why if you want to get a monitor like this one, the 2560 by 1600, the prices I would imagine should be coming down unless you just want to leapfrog all the way up to the 4K monitors. But to use a 4K monitor, you need a very high-end graphics card. Now, as I said, this is the 2560 by 1600 resolution, and the Windows icon, the start menu, all that good stuff is pretty small, and it's definitely legible because of the higher resolution. But if I would get into a 4K situation, I think it would be overkill because you'd actually shrink those icons down unless you went with a dramatically larger screen size. But again, I like this resolution, and the reason for it is right in front of you. I have Premiere Pro opened up, and I'm in the middle of editing video 449. So this is going to give me the screen real estate that I need for video editing. And again, that's the main reason I got this. I'm really not much of a gamer, very infrequently, even though this video I'm editing is for a Wii U. But I would imagine that gaming on this monitor would be pretty cool, just because of the higher resolution. Now, you have some basic buttons on the monitor itself. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, you probably see a blue light down there. That's the power button. And then you have two other buttons to the left of that, and that's your brightness control. So you have a plus button and a minus button, and that controls your brightness control. You have your Dell branding down here, and again, as you saw earlier in the video, the stand swivels. So you can swivel it this way, you can swivel it this way. And one of the things about these Dell monitors is they're very elegant in the way they function. And what I mean by that is that this motion here is well engineered and very smooth. The same holds true for the height. This is at the highest height right now, but if you want, you can just push it down, and that brings it to a lower height. And you can just pull it up. Not much pressure at all needed for that, just moving it up and down, and it stays where you put it. So a very high-end feel to this monitor. Again, it's an older monitor, but I primarily use this computer just for video editing. Some gaming here and there, but mostly video editing. So I expect to get a lot of life out of this monitor still. And if you're familiar with my channel, I do have some smaller 19-inch Dell monitors that I've had for quite a while, and I've had no problems with them. Now, this monitor was sold to me in mint condition, and it is. There are no dead pixels, there are no dim spots on the monitor, and there are no scratches anywhere. And also the monitor is matte finished. Now, I wish most TVs had a matte finish to them, but nowadays they always make them glossy, and that's so they look nice and shiny in the showroom. But when you take them home, you're going to get glare on them. Now, obviously, if you have a bright light shining on even a matte screen, you might get somewhat of a light spot on your screen, but it's not going to glare back at you. Now, as I mentioned, you have the card readers on the left-hand side here, and also the USB hub functionality on there, which will enable me to pull that out of my PC tower here. I have a card reader in there, and I'm actually going to pull that out because I'm going to be doing some upgrades, and I'm changing the case on that computer and doing a couple of things on it. So stay tuned to my channel for that. But that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up or favorite this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.